Welcome back to Artsy Island Girl Jamaican Vlogs. Yesterday, Saturday, July 16, 2022, I attended the groundbreaking ceremony for the long-awaited Montego Bay Perimeter Road project that is scheduled to start this year. It lasted a few hours, and so I'm going to share with you the highlights of the day. Now, before we move on, I have an entire playlist on my channel where I share the route of both the Long Hill Bypass and the Montego Bay Bypass. In my last video on the project, I spoke about all the construction planned for the Montego Bay Perimeter Road, so check out the playlist to learn more. Now let's get into it. Today's ceremony was put on by the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation in partnership with the National Road Operating and Constructing Company Limited, NROC. The groundbreaking ceremony for the Montego Bay Perimeter Road project was held at the roundabout at Dr. Horace Chang Boulevard. This is the location. Chang Boulevard. Now, there were a number of speakers for the day, including the Chinese ambassador to Jamaica. This was actually his first speech in English in Jamaica.
Samsung, Deputy General Manager of the Czech, Ms. Yun Peng-lu, General Manager of Czech American Division, Honorable Ministers and State Ministers, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to come here to witness the groundbreaking ceremony of Montego Bay Perimeter Road project. First, please allow me, on behalf of Chinese government, to congratulate you on the groundbreaking of this project. It's very meaningful to make my first English speech in Jamaica here. There is a scene in China. It will help us achieve common development and build a community with a shared future for mankind. I'm very happy to see that our two countries share the same vision on this. I believe the Montego Bay Perimeter Road will be a road that improves the conditions of the West.
Everald Warmington, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, was next, and he gave an overview of the project, reiterating the different segments involved in the Montego Bay Perimeter Road project.
And planning between government and its partners. In November last year, the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation signed a design and construction contract with China Harbour Engineering Company for the execution of the work on the Montego Bay Perimeter Road project. The project aims to develop an alternative route around the central business district in Montego Bay to reduce congestion in the city and stimulate economic growth. Montego Bay, which is the only city in western Jamaica, being implemented by the National Road Operation and Construction Company on behalf of the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, includes the following works: the Montego Bay Perimeter Road, Barnett Street, West Green Avenue Road rehabilitation. This includes rehabilitation and expansion works, Long Hill Bypass, which effectively will reduce traffic congestion, and a comprehensive design drainage study of the Montego Bay Bypass area and the Greater Montego Bay. A negotiating team was formed comprising representatives of the National Works Agency, the National Works Operating Construction Company, Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, the Ministry of Finance and Public Service, SEJ Consultant Limited, and the Attorney General's Department, led by Chief Negotiator Mr. Richard McCarthy. The role of the negotiating team was to conclude the check on a contract price for the implementation of the project, which was within the margin of variance of plus or minus 50% of the engineer's estimate, and make recommendations to the Cabinet for its decision on the agreement with the contractor. The team did its due diligence in all aspects of the negotiation process amounting to approximately $10 million. Czech's revised offer was a little over $206.9 million, which was a 24% variance above the revised engineer estimate, just over $240.4 million. Following exhaustive negotiation, the contract negotiation team and Czech arrived at the current recommendation price of $274.5 million, which represents a variance of approximately 10.5% above the engineer estimate. The project for this groundbreaking ceremony today has been long and exhaustive, but worth it. Upon completion, this project will effectively link another project currently being undertaken in NROC, namely the Maypen to Williamsville project, and subsequently with the rest of Highway 2000. Ladies and gentlemen, the revision of linking various centers across the length and breadth of Jamaica is coming to fruition, one segment at a time.
Then Deputy Prime Minister Horace Chang was next on stage. In his speech, he emphasized that no loan will be taken to fund the project and that an investment of this sort leads to new opportunities for the people of the country, new businesses, and of course, an increase in employment and prosperity.
I'm not suggesting that I'll do this. He has saved up from anything to that. But indeed, it is for me a particular pleasure to be here this morning at the groundbreaking ceremony, because I've been associated with the concept of this one a long time. In fact, I've never had the opportunity to go blind, and I take 2 minutes to break, and I'm not taking more than 5 minutes to there. You get up here fast. But this project, I'd like to say two things on it. One, it reflects the government of Montego is taking infrastructure investment to a new level. It's not just infrastructure that the government of Jamaica. All the expenditure on this project is the government of Jamaica's money. It is your project. It's mainly no way to the Others have done work, we have borrowed money and done many big projects. But I think the country to pause and understand that this Prime Minister and his cabinet has taken the government to a new level and raised the bar in being able to enter into a project on this side to Jamaican resources and indicate the new direction we're going as a country. And as the Prime Minister will of course elucidate, but right next door is not a huge project. Jamaican resources extending the Montego Bay International Airport runway. I mentioned this at the very beginning because others spoke of the impact of the road, but it's important because there's always calls for certain kind of activity. And I have potholes in my constituency. I have water problem, and we're fixing them. But the truth is, if I went to get to the day as a developed country, when we don't, as representatives at the national level, worry about a pothole because routine maintenance, we have to do these investments. That is what the signal is. Investment of this sort leads to new opportunities for the people of the country, new business, and of course increased employment and prosperity for the people of the country and increased quality of life.
Ambassador, I'm certain you will be giving many more speeches in English. And by the way, you did a very good job.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness was next to take the stage, and in his speech, he explained how improper urban planning has caused many of the problems faced in Montego Bay and the importance of now planning ahead and ensuring that all necessary resources are in place.
Because today is a day when you should all feel a sense of accomplishment. And I always take great pleasure, as you know, in visiting the tourism capital of Jamaica, the western urban space of Jamaica, centered around the city of Montego Bay. Montego Bay is pivotal to Jamaica's economy. And as you know, Montego Bay is the home to a great many local and international hotels. the largest and busiest airport in Jamaica. Just by way of note, we are spending from the government's resources over $70 million on expanding that runway and other improvements. And of course, Montego Bay could be described as the center of entertainment and gastronomy. And for those of you who are wondering, good food. But it has become in recent times the center of our BPO industry, but I'm quickly corrected to say global services. I see Mark raise his head immediately as I mentioned global services. But, you know, I like to think of Montego Bay as the frontier town. This is where entrepreneurism, strong business enterprise thrives. And you can see the energy in the market and in the boardrooms of Montego Bay. So Montego Bay, in my opinion, is the growth center of the island. And if it is given the right support, Montego Bay will expand to become the pearl city of the English-speaking and indeed the wider Caribbean. Of course, that is not the limitations of our ambitions, but today I will be practical. In the past, we made short-term decisions and sacrificed the future. When we ended up in the future was worse than our past. You are going to have a good future. This crisis will pass, and we will all be together in the better future. And we will ensure that you are no worse off for your sacrifice. Whether it is our money or the money we borrow or borrowed in the past from our bilateral friends must never be wasted. So we have to ensure that every dollar that we budget ends up in the road. And to end up in anybody else's pocket, or in anybody else's house, or in anybody else's bank account. Every dollar of it must end up on the road. Minister, you pointed out that this project will do 14.9 kilometers of the perimeter road. It will improve the Barnett Street, West Green Avenue roadway, and it will do 10.5 kilometers for the Long Hill bypass, which is going to carry you into West Columbia. But more importantly, it will do a drainage study. You might say, why a study? You know, we have built drains in Montego Bay before. We have paved some earth drains here, and the place is still flooded. To truly control flooding, you have to do a study of the entire area. And you have to understand how your current road network, the levels and how they integrate with each other to carry water off the road and off and away from critical townships and urban areas. So this program will also include a comprehensive study, which means that in the future, we will have a plan for drainage infrastructure, which probably will be as significant as the road itself. But that will come in the future to ensure that we protect our roads and improve the resilience of the urban infrastructure. So for this project, we have created a parallel structure with China Harbour and Hart MTA to ensure that the labor that is used on this project is 90% local for unskilled or general works. And that there is a training component, that it's not just that they will be supervised and that's it, they will be certified. So after this project, they can move on to another one. They can go to one of the 8 hotel projects that are lined up along this coast. But we have said that for the technical positions, a minimum of 50% locals. And where we don't have the capacity for the 50%, we should have the technical expert be paired with a local training so that we can also have the technology transfer. That is structured in an MOU that will be signed between China Harbour and Hart NT. So we're not just...
Certainly very momentous and historical occasion as we ensure that many Jamaicans are employed on this project and certainly working alongside and being certified as well by the Hart MSTA Trust. Mr. Morgan? Good. We want each document signed by all those seated.
After his speech, we witnessed the signing of the memorandum to which he alluded to in his speech earlier. Then we concluded the day with the actual groundbreaking further down the road. We walk, and I'm wondering how far are we going to walk? Okay, so after a medium long walk, we are at the area where they're going to have the actual groundbreaking ceremony. People are still coming and they're playing music while we wait on the others. Alright, so let me find a spot where I can see this clearly.
Groundbreaking. It's a very important and significant project to benefit the people of St. James and Western Jamaica.
Everybody is in? Alright, then we lift. Heads up. After 1 million, we're going to turn, so hope you have a strong hand. 1 million, turn.
Alright, so that was practice for the major strokes. Dig.
Hold, heads up. After 1 million, turn to the right. 1 million.
Of course, this is a shortened version of what happened on the day. And if you want to see the longer version, let me know in the comments section. It is not as long as the original video, which was about 2 hours, but you will get more information and get to see more of the day if you're interested. Let me know in the comments, or you can vote under the community tab. I actually put up a poll last night. Vote and let me know, and I will probably share that video later today or tomorrow. Yeah, sometime on Monday. All right, thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to learn more about the Montego Bay Perimeter Road project, you can hop on over to that playlist.